Hey everybody, we're here at FDIC International 2022 in the Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm Ed Ballum, Senior Editor of Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. We're in the Silver Ships booth today, and we have David Hunt, Business Development for Silver Ships. And we're going to be talking about the Danbury, Connecticut Fire Rescue Boat. David, tell us about this magnificent vessel.
All right, Ed, I appreciate you asking about it. We have here from Silver Ships our Explorer 32 landing craft fireboat. So we build these vessels for multiple applications, law enforcement, commercial, as well as for fire. In this case, we have our fire variant that we worked with Danbury very closely on understanding their requirements to provide them the correct platform for their service on Candlewood Lake. So looking back at the boat, we have 32 feet long. As you can see, the bow door is deployed right now for the show to show off that capability. This will allow Danbury to be able to address both emergency services on their lake, firefighting capabilities, as well as a dive platform and a search and rescue platform.
Right. So what particular features do we want to look at today? You have some things to talk to us about?
Absolutely, absolutely. So key to this one is the firefighting capability. We have a Darley LSDE 1000 direct mount pump. It's powered by a 4.3 liter GM engine, marinized, that they're able to flow 1,000 gallons a minute, either supplying water to shore and land-based assets, or fighting from, you can see up on the boat, the forward bow monitor.
Yes.
Key there not only is the amount of water flow, but also PSI, 150 PSI. So this is a significant firefighting capability on their lake.
So the TFT monitor there on the front bow?
Yes.
How much does it flow?
The TFT monitor is capable of flowing up to 1,250 gallons per minute, so it's definitely enough monitor for the fire system aboard. And then they can remove that monitor and attach a 5-inch Storts outlet, which is a large diameter outlet, so that they can supply those fire trucks ashore.
Yes. And you're called Silver Ships for a reason. I suspect it's because of the aluminum hull?
Indeed, indeed. We do paint some of these vessels, although our preference and our recommendation is if you can get one unpainted, the aluminum is, we're clearly attracted to the silver look, but it's also a maintenance item to think about going forward.
Right, especially when you're in rough waters, a lot of debris and things like that.
And you're going to damage the paint over time. It's unavoidable, and it's just one more thing that you don't have to think about.
That's right. So, are there some features you'd like to talk about?
Certainly. I mean, we talked through the propulsion on the vessel. That's key. It's twin 300 DF 300B Suzuki's, which why that's different is they are the duo prop version. Little larger engine, but they do provide a lot of low-end power for this vessel. The lake is not that large, so getting a straight line going very quickly is not really what they were looking for.
Yes.
So what we have is a very powerful vessel.
Right, as far as engine goes and capabilities.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us about the interior of the vessel, the cab up there?
So this is a fully enclosed cabin. It does provide seating for more than just the operators and crew. So they can bring individuals into the cabin and out of the weather as they rescue them.
Right.
That's also key because this bow door will extend all the way down into the water. So when someone falls into the water unintentionally, that's going to create a scenario where even the strongest swimmer is going to need assistance.
Right. Before we went on camera, you and I talked a little bit about the idea about building the vehicle, or building the vessel you need for your department and for your agency. Maybe you can go in a little bit about that, how you guys develop these things.
All right, so we take an operational research, systems analysis approach to looking at the mission set for every department. The first question I ask is, where are you operating? What is the water like where you're operating? What other terrain features are you dealing with? Because the landing craft vessel may not be the most appropriate for your application. It's great for a lot of scenarios, but for instance, if you're going offshore, or if you're dealing with heavy coastal waters, or even inland waters where there are significant amounts of wave action because maybe it's a shipping channel.
Yes.
The Great Lakes, of course, they really don't count as inland waterways.
No, they're huge.
This may not be the most appropriate vessel. So that's the first thing we look for, is getting you into the proper vessel for the area you're operating in, and then from there beginning to understand the capabilities that we need to bring. Like one note that you may not see because the mast is folded down on this one is it does include a FLIR camera. And that FLIR camera will allow you to do search and rescue operations or going and finding individuals very quickly, not for navigating at night necessarily. And it has a lot of application in the daytime, which a lot of folks don't really think about. but finding individuals in the water and then being able to get to them
Right.
and bring
It's
them into
important.
safety.
Yes, you need all that equipment to find people and effectively rescue them,
Certainly.
or fire suppression, or whatever the need is that you have for deployment.
Certainly.
Yes. David, if somebody wanted to know some more about your products, where can they get the information? Your website, perhaps?
Okay, we have multiple ways to reach out to us. We are, of course, have a social media presence like
Yes.
all other companies.
Of course.
Our website, silverships.com, we've tried to lay that out very clearly in terms of not only mission areas where it's fire and emergency services, law enforcement, military, but also breaking down by the different boat styles, whether it be our Ambar series rigid hull inflatables, our Endeavor series large deep V offshore vessels, our smaller center console Freedoms, or some of our special purpose craft as well, such as catamarans, survey boats, and then of course the landing craft vessel,
Yes.
our Explorer.
Great. Well, David, thank you very much for taking your time to talk
Absolutely,
to us about
I
Silver Ships
appreciate it.
today.
I appreciate it.
A great looking vessel.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.